Okay guys, so as I promised, let's get into this deep dive on Candace Owens part 3. So when we left off in part 2, we spoke about how Candace was with the Daily Wire. She got with them in 2021 with a 7-figure contract. So it was like a single digit 7-figure contract. So it could have been between $1 and $9 million. So then October 7th happened, 2023, and Candace had a lot of biases against the war that happened between the white and blue people and the other people in that region. There were a lot of reports of children being unalived, and Candace had an issue with that, and she spoke about it on her show. But the issue was that the majority of the people that own the Daily Wire and who hired her are with the blue and white people. So Candace's boss, Ben Shapiro, felt that her claims were very anti-blue and white. They wanted Candace to stop speaking on it, and if she wasn't going to back the blue and white, they didn't want her speaking on the matter at all. However, the more they asked her not to speak about it, the more she did speak about it. And it was mainly about the unaliving of the children. The numbers kept going up on several news reports and heavily on Twitter. And that's where Candace is a lot. She has a very heavy presence on Twitter. Her and her boss, Ben Shapiro, had a lot of back and forth on the Twitter platform, and they figured enough was enough. And in March of 2024, Candace was fired from the Daily Wire. Now, Candace claims that her firing was done very distasteful and very disrespectful. And I'm just going to play a clip of how she says she felt. In Candace's own words, she felt like it was a public.
The question is about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this is disgraceful. Without a doubt, she is not
It is. You can fire whoever you want. You really can if you're a business owner. It's just that this was atypical in the fashion that it was done, right? It wasn't done in the way where you just say, okay, get out of here, it's not working. Instead, what they decided to do was humiliate me in front of all of the other employees by, rather than having a conversation, sort of dramatically having me exit after doing my show, not knowing that I was going to be fired. And then they had put together a stage in my studio and put up clips put together basically a whole package, like almost like a high school play, and conducted what I honestly, when I look back, because it recently leaked what happened at this quote unquote town hall, this is a slave hanging. This is a slave hanging, right? Gather around, everybody else is a slave, and let me tell you how this one messed up. Gather around and watch us whip this person. This is literally how I feel when I watch this, okay? And you'll know what not to do next. And here is a video of the then CEO. And ask yourself in your memory, do you ever recall anybody ever being fired where 300 employees, Ben joined electronically, he's up on the screen too, and just enjoyed watching me be humiliated, where 300 employees are invited down and shown a production of what this person did wrong?
So after being released from the Daily Wire in March of 2024, a couple of months later, Candace launched her own independent podcast called Candace. And as of November of 2025, Candace has the #1 podcast in the world. So she has a big target on her back. She has a lot of haters from the people who fired her. I believe that Ben Shapiro thought that once they fired Candace, that she would never kind of bounce back to how she was, because as the day she left Daily Wire, Candace had at least about 3 million followers, and within 2 weeks, her audience was almost back to capacity after about, like I said, a few weeks when she went independent, and now it's grown pretty much double. But we'll get into that in part 4, but you guys just stick with me, and part 4 will be next.